Alrighty. How's it going, gamers? The intro of all time right here. But we are just doing a little bit of the practice range. But this is a very successful, very awesome Kiriko build that I think is a sleeper build that I've not seen anybody play in Stadium. So this build is what I call the Kali build. I call it the Kali build because it's very reminiscent of Kali from Smite and the way that you kind of play that. So here's how we tend to do it. In the first round, this is very enemy team dependent. So if you are going against some hero that has something that you can cleanse and get a fuckload of ultimate charge off of, so let's say you're facing an Ashe or you're facing into a Junker Queen, something like that, you definitely want to get a cleansing charge in the first round or second round where you can get a power. The reason being is as soon as the whole goal of this build is to get your Kitsune Rush as often as possible and as quick as possible. So typically what we're going to do here is if we're facing a Queen or an Ashe, or you can build this in the latter part if you're facing into something like a Diva, or you're noticing that anybody who's running something with, like, say, burns or wounds, things of that nature, like a Genji with laceration on or something like that, you want this cleansing charge. If you don't, then you want something like Clone Conjuration or any of the other typical go-tos up in this section. But the real things that you want here is Tuzu, because Tuzu is just good in every build. And if you have the cleansing charge, the Tuzu, one of those two can be your first, the other your second power. But after you get these online, and if you don't need a cleansing charge, you can go Tuzu first round, or you can go Clone Conjuration. But what really makes this tick is the Spirit Veil. Using Kitsune Rush cleanses Kiriko of negative effects and makes her invulnerable for 4 seconds. This is a I can't die button, nor can I be CC'd or dealt damage in any way, shape, or form for 4 seconds. Which seems like a lot of time, but in gameplay it will seem very quick. But trust me, it's very, very useful. So usually the way that I do it is, depending on what I'm going against, I try to go Spirit Veil, I try to go Tuzu, and then since you're trying to speed run and have as many Kitsune Rushes as possible, the Crossing Guard isn't a bad pickup either, and then either Clone Conjuration or the Cleansing Charge. Obviously, we're just going to do Cleansing Charge here. Now, the build is going to seem like it's not very efficient and you're not going balls to the wall in one specific direction here. But the main goal here, like I said, is building Ult Charge and going and using it repeatedly. So I like to go into the Junker Whatchamajig just because it gives you that starting 25% Ult Charge, and you get 15% Ult Charge. So even if you die on the first fight and you do a little bit, you're probably looking at somewhere in the realm of already half an ult charge, just based on those two and a little bit of healing or something like that. And the good thing about this build as well is very cheap, it's very easily obtainable. You want a Catalytic Crystal because you're going to be doing a lot of healing as a healer. You're not worrying about the ability damage per se, but you also get your Suzu getting more ability power. I'm not sure that that does anything. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think it does, but hey, here we are. So you want to get those for sure. And then another thing that is very good in this build, again because you're trying to do lots of Suzuing, is Protection Suzu grants 100 over health for 5 seconds to everyone affected by it. It gives you more ability power. This is called Talisman of Life. These are your absolute pickups for this build to go crazy, because it charges your ult very quickly, very efficiently, and if you're doing it well enough, you should be charging your ult very quickly. Now, you can pick up things like the Vanadium injection, because you're generally going to sit there with your ult up in case at any point in time. So you're going to sit there with your ult at 100%, so you can get all of these at once. It is useful, but I tend to try and avoid those if I can. I personally would like things like, oh yes, and also having our bikes. Kitsune Rush heals allies for 80 health every 1 second is also a big pickup for this as well, because every time you do it, then you cannot worry about trying to heal so much and you can just fire off kunais. That is the best idea. And then typically from there, I like to try and pick up something like Donut Delivery, so Swift Step heals nearby allies for 120 life over 2 seconds, or something like after using Swift Step, you get 100 over life for 4 seconds. Something like that, just because your goal here is to stay in the fight and just heal and do stuff until you get that, until you get your actual ult, and then you just ult. And so things like this that give you healing, also useful. So as you can see, 46.5k is not that expensive and is very obtainable. This is like obviously your end, you get to 7 rounds type of thing. So, you know, maybe going without the cross is fine if you only get to 5. If you only get to, you know, 3 rounds, again, depending on what you're up against, either a Cleansing Charge into Spirit Veil, or 2-Zoo into Spirit Veil, or a Clone Conjuration into Spirit Veil, something like that is generally going to be your go-to here. So basically, you build up an ult really quickly, and then what's going to happen is you're going to end up in these modes where you're going to end up... So now that you see this ghostly form, that means that I'm literally incapable of taking damage for that 4-second window. So I've full tanked Shatters. And obviously, let's see here. Let's see if we can do one of these. We'll wait for these to respawn. So obviously this gives a lot of overhealth. And if these had burns or some form of other negative effects or something, like anti-nades, Anna's also huge to go against as well, but anti-nade, burns, wounds, or, you know, bleed effects are huge for this. There's a whole lot of lag right there, that was fun. But those are the main things you want to try and get to, because then as soon as you do, you can just sit there constantly having your ult up. And like I said, you could go for any of those things that give you like 8 different things all at once. But generally you're going to want to just... You ult, you give great healing, and then you just sit there while your ult is up. You don't have to worry about trying to heal yourself, because your Kitsune, you want to stay in your Kitsune Rush, and your Kitsune Rush is going to do 80 healing for every 1 second. It's very, very powerful for every single ally you're trying to heal. And you got great ability power, so you can just chuck those and give a good amount of overhealth, and then heal while you're in the overhealth. It is just a constant thing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this and we're going to try it in a real game. And we're going to do it in a ranked game because, you know, I like me some ranked. I've been trying to, you know, get as many Jade weapons as I can. You'll notice my rank here is currently I'm an Elite 2 healer, a Pro 5 DPS, and a Rookie 2 tank, because I haven't played a lot of tank this season. But last season, I believe I was Pro for everything except tank. I think last season I was an Elite, like a top Elite tank. Something like that. Career profile, let's see, we can check this. Stadium competitive. Season 2. I actually got into above. Or no, is that elite? I don't know. That's hard to fucking actually read. But yeah, that might just be elite. Current? Yeah, it's just elite. So, I got Pro 5, and so I essentially got to Diamond on both support and DPS, and then I was not far off for tank. I play a lot of Kiriko, as you can see, a lot of Ashe, and a lot of Moira. And then Junker Queen's usually my go-to for Stadium. Stadium is pretty much the main game mode I play now. I do sometimes play the occasional, you know, quick play and stuff like that, but I tend to just play Stadium. But yeah, I've played most of my time on DPS, surprisingly, and it's a lot of Ashe. But that's just because Ashe's build is just build Dynamite. Dynamite do lots of damage, go burr. Tends to be the best way to build it. So, let's try this. Let's see how this goes. I like, you know, if you're gonna play Kiriko, I like trying to swap to the as late as possible, just that way nobody can metagame if whether or not they're going to pick something or not. But you know, if you're first and no one's willing to swap you, you just kind of have to bite that bullet. Junker Queen, perfect. The kid from Kanazaka with killer kicks. It's Kiriko. I can't be the only person that really wants the stadium announcer to not be a thing. I can't be the only person. That would be crazy. If I was the only one. I know for a fact I'm not the only one. I've talked to other Overwatch players and they're like, yeah, that's not a thing that we like. Wish we could just shut him up. Alright, I didn't even end up seeing the rest of that because I was looking at my phone. I apologize. But we're going into a Junker Queen. We're pretty happy no matter what here. I'm going to guess Baby Cho and Bubbles are like a duo or something like that. Welcome to the Armory. Oh, and an Ashe? Is it my birthday? Holy! We're gonna cleansing charge right away, boys, because that's gonna be good. My round one almost always never changes. I always electrolytes because it giving you 100 over health every single life that you have is pretty good, and then winning attitude is just great throughout the whole game. And then for Kiriko, I could either do ability power or weapon power in the first round. It doesn't really. Excuse me, it doesn't really matter, but we're just kind of chilling. We have the cunty skateboard, you know, emote here. That's the other thing you can do. You can use that 4 seconds for if you really want to. You could alt and then emote and just make everyone have to watch you emote, but that's not inherently wise to do unless you really want to be an asshole. But it's absolutely still a thing you can absolutely do. Alrighty, let's see here. We have a Rhine on our team. I like that. Oh, that Junker Queen didn't super play into it, which we like for her. But it's not gonna make a difference. A lot of the Kiriko gameplay is just going to be holding down heal button until you see someone bleeding or on fire or something. Then you just throw Suzu at them and watch. But yikes. Oh, that Ryan's mental. Yeah, like that Suzu there, probably not ideal, but oh my god. That was an experience that I just watched. Oh, Bob Jr. Interesting. Yikes. Wow, this Ash is not great at aiming, but we'll take it. And now we have Kitsune Rush. We got Kitsune just before Zen got Transcendence. He used it already. I think that's a bad use per se. We're almost there. High noon. It's not 12 o'clock. Actually, it's probably pretty close to 12. Whee. I'm just hanging out. Yeah, it doesn't really help me to Suzu there, but oh! I stood right on it because I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. And then it wasn't fine. But that's okay, we got the round. I think this is just going to be an easy round. We only cleansed 2 things there. This is looking great for the enemy team, I'm not going to lie to you. It doesn't seem like the enemy team's doing a whole lot, unfortunately. Yeah, and then typically my first round sell-offs, depending on here, I should tend to sell everything if I can, but I always go for art bikes as early as possible because everything is about getting that Kitsune Rush. So then turning the Kitsune Rush into healing is just incredible, and then go from there, usually. Usually it's Kitsune or art bikes first, and then we try and prioritize Catalytic Crystal because it's just purely the best, one of the best items on anything that has healing or ability damage or both. And then we go for the Junker Whatchamajig, and then the Protection Suzu thing mattering later. But I think next round we'll kind of see. I think we're probably gonna go. We'll probably go with Spirit Veil, probably. And then if we get another round of powers, we'll probably go Tuzu. I don't know why you charged that, but I'll take it. Ren, you're so far. Oh, poor Zen. Bad Junker Queen. I don't love a rat. What's up with it? Woo. Reaper, why'd you go in, bro? touch early on that Suzu. It's all about timing. You gotta get used to and adjust to every single person that you're playing against. Oh my goodness. I almost have an ult. Hey. What? Rude. I didn't even get the thing there. Pretty good. Pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't love the odds for this enemy team to actually get another power round. But we'll see. I don't love the odds of getting to 5 this game, but you know, you never know. It could just happen. So we'll Spirit Veil for sure here, and then because we didn't get a 10k, I tend to just do, you know, for the meantime ones. So like we could get the Junker or whatchamajig, just call it fucking good. And then again, literally like anything you want. I think we go with custom stock here, just gives us some weapon power, so better healing and a little bit of ability power. If you asked me, I wouldn't be able to tell you what getting ability power, aka only buffing your protection Suzu, does for you, because I don't know that it does anything. I really don't think it does, but here we are. And we're a solid 1k ahead of 1,000 ahead of the enemy Kiriko, and even more ahead of the Junker Queen. The only person on their team ahead of me is their Ashe, and that makes sense. Ashe is a farm for getting cash, kind of no matter what you do. Perfect. Now she's doing the out with a bang, which lends itself perfectly to us. The Queen is not playing into our protection Suzu, which is very good, but there's still every ability besides shout gives a wound pretty much, so we like that. Ow. And just like that, I have 50. I know I started with 25 already, but the fact that I did very little there and got another 25 is pretty good. I cleansed one thing and healed not even 500, and we got that far. That was a bad Suzu. If I had Suzu, I'd go and walk into those on purpose. Woo! Yeah, and this is where having the double Suzu there probably would be so helpful, because then I could do the Suzu again, but yeah, I think we just won. Yeah, we just win. So we're gonna run that back, and hope that we get into a Queen again, or an Ashe. It's a cool skin. But yeah, nothing feels better when you're playing Kiriko than rank up to Elite 1. I love that. Almost Pro 5. Nothing feels better when you're playing Kiriko in the stadium than the enemy team having an Ana an Ashe and a Junker Queen, like, and then like a Genji with Laceration would be awesome too. Just like everybody is just cleanse mania. I've done rounds where I've gotten like over 50 cleanses, and they're like fairly short ones because everything is just like burns, wounds, bleeds, something that is cleansable pretty much, and they're just happening so frequently. And I have double Suzu, so it's just like cool. We'll do that. Oh hell yeah, we like that. Again, you like trying to go earlier or later in the draft, just so that way you can see what other people are going for. What I tend to do if there's like nothing really cleansable and I'm not feeling like the best pick is Kiriko, I'll just go into Moira, and if the Moira's already taken, then maybe Zen, or sometimes I'll stick to the Kiriko. Anyways, because even when you're not doing this by just cleansing your way there, you still just play it as if you're doing it without. You just go without the cleansing charge. I don't know why I got the Reinhardt one, but we'll take it. Oh, it's my birthday again. We're getting Junker Queen and Ashe in the same round. And this is one of those things that as to why people are like, well, why does this draft exist? This is why. Because if you see a Kiriko, you just shouldn't play characters that feed the Kiriko, right? It's just how it works. But here we are. I'll take it. We just immediately buy this and this and this and call it good. I'm really sad that I think the two main skins that I've unlocked from the like Mythic store, like the ones with prisms or whatever, which is this and the Genji one, neither of them, to the best of my knowledge, have a weapon flourish, and it's really fucking dumb. I don't know if it's something specific you have to like buy or something. It might be, but yeah, this should just mean GG. Should just be GG. Whoops. Neither of them are like super feeding it just yet. The Incendiary Blast one, which means every time she coach guns, it burns everyone. And then if they're already burning, they take a bunch of burst extra damage, is pretty good. I tend to put it somewhere in mine, but it's been 5 seconds. The point hasn't even unlocked, and I have 20%. Ooh, Reinhardt! Ooh, Reinhardt! Ooh, Reinhardt! Also, in case people didn't know, because I don't know that everybody like actually knows this, but they might. I'm pretty sure. Woo-hoo-hoo. And just like that, we're almost at 80%. Woo. I'm pretty sure when you use Suzu, oh dear, you reset like whether or not you start your life regenning. That fucking Brig wanted my ass, bro. She's not the GOAT. She never was the GOAT. GOATs was a comp, and yes, she played an integral part, but she was not the GOAT. God, I hate Brigidas. Not because it counters me or anything like actually useful, but because they're just so annoying. Alright, let's go. Whoa! Why are we just letting the boss go crazy, boys? I have no idea. But yeah, if you Suzu somebody, it immediately sets them on regenerating health. Even if they had just taken damage, it does not matter. Oh, I got them both. Hell yeah. Pretty solid. We're not gonna quite have the 10K for our bikes. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And this is the best part about this build as well, is as much as you'll see builds on TikTok or YouTube of like, yo, you do this, do that, and they'll show this whole build and it's almost all purples and stuff. It's like, yeah, if you're an insane player like that and you can just do that, it kind of doesn't matter what you're building more often than not. Because it's just like, yeah, it doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because you're just a great player. But like, at other points here, right, it's just like, this is I'm not an actual, like, top 500 or fucking anywhere close to the top end type player. I'm just a player who's been playing for a very long time, if my career profile didn't make that clear. I've been playing since Orisa was introduced and the first null sector like event, and I want to say that was 2016-ish, maybe 2015 still. But like, I've been playing a long time. Doesn't change that like I took a long hiatus from this game before Overwatch 2 became a thing, which didn't really change that much. And the only reason I really play currently is because of Stadium. And the reason I can do Stadium as well as I can, I guess, is because I have the experience of, well, I played a lot of Smite as well. So. Oh, get away from me! There's a Reaper. Right, we haven't gotten to a second power yet. I was like, did I get fed even harder? But I don't know yet. We'll see next round.
Time to try again.
Yeah, as much as people tend to think things like winning attitude are baby, like, you know, feeder ones, where it's like, oh, you're planning on dying. It's like, yeah, it's not about planning to die. It's just about the fact that you can, in case you die, which will probably happen at some point, especially if you get a big-ass bounty on your head. Wow, that's crazy that I just got a double headshot on that. Spray it all back and forth. That was a decent round for earning cash secretly. Yeah, so like this is another round where it's like, okay, cool, we got pretty close. And honestly, there are definitely lots of times when I will sell the winning attitude and then buy it back later. So like this round, I'll probably sell the winning attitude, go into the ability damage and healing gives you a thing. I want the Spirit Veil. If we get another round of powers, Tuzu, and then maybe the Crossing Guard at the very end. But we'll go into this catalytic crystal. We'll have not enough money for anything else, but that's okay, because now we'll just sit there every single fight, and we'll hope too that they feed us. If they feed us a bunch here, like if this Junker Queen and Ash feed us even harder, oh boy, we're gonna be happy. And to be completely fair as well, in a game session like this where you're clearly doing a dominant like W, like it's a very low chance that if we win this round that they don't get mercy ruled. You could do the Tuzu and just call it a day and not need the Spirit Veil, but I like the Spirit Veil because it is, especially on some of those control maps and things like that, they're really clutch because you can give yourself at least another 4 seconds, which is in this game is a lifetime, especially with such terrible fucking spawn delay in this game. They're very, very big important uses. Yeah, sometimes when I'm facing into a thing like that, an Ash or Kiriko or something, I will intentionally walk into it so I will get more ult charge. This Reaper wants thine ass. See, then this is one of those moments where it's like, yeah, that winning attitude, if we still had it, would be really, really good. Because we could actually be at more like 80. But that's okay. If they win this, like, I'm actually probably happier. Yeah, see there, again, it would have been way better if we had gotten the, had the winning attitude, but again, overall, we're probably getting better ult charge out of the, catalytic crystal or whatever. I don't know how I, of all people, specifically got killed out of that first, but I will accept it and move forward. Again, it's all about timing that those Suzus, and having 2 of them always is generally good. So, you know, this is that learning moment of like, maybe I should have just kept 2 Suzu. Oh, yeah. Essentially solo ulted. The Tuzu is definitely maybe the more correct call there, but you know, sometimes it's hard to say. Ow. The Bob Jr. is a surprising pickup. Oh no, it's not Bob Jr. Just kidding. I forgot. That was last game. But anytime I see an Ash pick up a Bob Jr., I'm so surprised. Mercy Rule was not enforced is good for us. That means that we're definitely getting, theoretically, another 2 powers, or another power, which means we can definitely get that Tuzu, and that will probably be a big decider in the late game of the next, not this round, but the next round. That round 5 will be huge. Let's see where we're at with monies. I don't think we're high enough to get anything useful, really. So we can go into this and this, which means our alt starts at 25, and every time we die we get 15, which is great. And then, yeah, we just probably go player power playbook. Again, I have no clue what that does. I don't know if it makes the Suzu last longer or what it does, but I'd imagine it does something relatively useful. Otherwise, it would just wouldn't be a thing that they say, you know, you get additional power for. But who's to say?
The teams have 20 seconds left to prepare for the round.
I hate how often it shows you the tip about how the like armory closing faster when no one's in it anymore. It's like, yes, I know. And like, again, a bunch of like the early voice lines for the announcer guy are also just so annoying because it's like, yes, I know what it do, Yugi.
Enemy spotted. Now go get him.
If you guys were closer, that would have been way better. Would have been at 50 already. Yeah, again, that Suzu is gonna come in real clutch later.
Be resplendent.
I should have waited. I'm gonna die now. Whoops! That's okay. Now we almost have an ult! Her being on Bob does not surprise me. Some of that build surprises me, but her being on Bob this early doesn't surprise me at all. Bye, Bob. Holy shit. I should not be that close to my DPS's damage in general. The one thing I will say about this build that I find very annoying, and I hope that the devs change in some capacity at some point, is that it does feel like you don't get any reward for cleansing shit with Suzu. Which is weird. JR shouldn't be in staff. What? I don't know what that means. Stadium. What? I have no idea what this is about. Oh. I almost have ult again, but it's not gonna matter. They're probably gonna get it here, because respawn delay is a bitch. Ooh, stay there, stay there, stay alive. I don't know what that is. I think that's a Junkrat. That is a Junkrat. Damn. I'm still on their payload, but okay, I will accept it. Again, the longer this goes, the better that this build becomes, because then you are producing way more money than before. So this round we got 9k, so we will, and I think we still had 5, so either we sell off the other green there, or we just easy afford the other one. So you get the 2Z here, 100%, and then Yeah, we get rid of this power playbook. Oh no, this is 11! We're 300 short. That's crazy. Alright, well. We are gonna get Swift Step, heals nearby allies by 120 life for over 2 seconds. Yeah, sure, we get that. It also gives us 10% cooldown, which is great. That just means more Suzus, more or fast, more efficiently, as it were. We are just behind Moira. Well, we're second last on our team. On their team, comparatively, we are still behind everybody but their Reaper, which is interesting. But it's kind of okay. Now it's about a 12-ish second cooldown. I kind of wish that the Overwatch devs would make it clear, like, sure, I see that when I'm in the armory and it says that I'm doing ability power, it makes my protection Suzu better. I wish I knew what that meant, because again, for something like that where it's like, okay, but what are you, like, 10% ability power, like additional ability power to protection Suzu means what? Does it increase the duration? Does it increase the speed? You know, what does it actually do? And I don't know, and that's weird. I feel like we should know what that does. But that's okay.
My gift to you. Washed away. I think we're outnumbered. Illuminated.
Yikes. Doodles. Oh, that's a whole lot of lag. Hey, that's really neat to watch you just fucking just go all in on that and whiff. Where the hell are the TNT? That probably wasn't the best use of Suzu on that Rhine there, but that's okay. Need to cap this point. Holy fuck. What knocked me back there? Probably Brig and her stupid Brigism. Yeah, we're getting ults very quickly, very efficiently. We might lose this round, honestly, which is fair, but... Watch as I walk right through you. Yeah, I think Brig Bash, Shield Bash also counts as another thing you can cleanse and get ult charge on here. It was so funny just walking through them. As you can see, we got 7,000 healing here. We are definitely the MVP of this round. And now we're gonna get that 10k, which means we probably just keep the power that we got and we go with the other. I think we still had some money left over. Worst case scenario, we sell off the one that we had and buy something else if we absolutely have to, which just might happen. That's okay. even if we don't win this, this is still showing the power of I just W keyed through an entire team because I was able to. They couldn't stop me, which was funny. Yeah, so we're protecting Suzu here, and now we've pretty much gotten a full build. Like, the only thing I think we would change here is, like, if we really think that we need to, like, swap this out for just, you know, survivability or something like that, which I think is probably also fine here. You know, like, if we can get into, you know, something like this would be sweet. You know, different things like that, which it really depends on how it goes, right? Something like this would be pretty sweet as well. Give us 20% CDR or cooldown reduction, as I call it CDR because, again, it's a MOBA term. And then restore 3 life for every 1 second, 3% life. Yeah, so now all of a sudden my 40s, I'm ahead of the enemy Kiriko, I'm ahead of the Reaper, I'm not far behind their Queen, and I'm ahead of both of my DPS. I'm not far behind my Moira, and we all know Moira's just farm money. I don't know if my Moira is actually building correctly, but we'll see. Oh my god! Yeah, so this type of map is going to be really good for that Spirit Veil, because the Spirit Veil is going to give us extra fucking time to buy on the objective in case we're in OT and I'm the only one alive or whatever the case is. Holy lag, boys. Nice and easy. Good round. We assisted in 10 total kills. Seems pretty good. And we got another 10k, so maybe we go into, you know, something else. You know, you can also go into any of those really big splashies, like, you know, the ones that give you lots of damage or lots of ability power or something like that. Again, it's up to you, depending on what you're kind of feeling. That Kitsune Rush really wasn't needed when I used it there. I don't know if we go Crossing Guard or Clone Conjuration right now, because, like, this is only useful for movement speed reduction, which is, like, fine, but I think this just gives us more of a, like, we could use Self-Care to heal ourselves, Swift Step, getting more healing, so, like, I think any of those are useful. This is all Leaf on the Wind. Anything that's just gonna give you more. Everything here is just a win more sort of power. So I think we go with the Self-Care because I think that's just smart. But yes, a lot of. You could do the Crossing Guard just so that way you reduce their movement speed while Kitsune Rush is just going. But yeah, either we get rid of this and we go into like a big boy, like, you know, Champions kit, or we go into, you know, a big survivability thing. You know, something like this would be pretty solid. Any of those big protection things. It really depends, but I like where this build's at. because again, I don't think the ability power is that critically useful. You could argue that you go into the this ones, that way your healing output itself is actually higher, but yeah, now the Ashe is going into it. The Queen still hasn't done the power that makes your shout do wounds, which is probably a good thing, because again, that would feed me so much harder. It would feed incredible amounts of Suzuing. There's people in the back line here, they're not doing much. And just like that, we're at 70, which, if you want to like discount the starting with 25, it really doesn't make a difference. But even if you did, we've garnered over 50 at this rate. There's an ult. I don't know why Ryan was that pushed up, but we'll take it. And just like that, now you can't even say that it's because of the fucking starting 25, because it isn't. Oh, I should have waited the extra second there, would have been good. We finally died, and we got another ult already. Our healing is higher than the Moira's, which generally Moira's tend to not heal, but you know. Yeah, and also sometimes while your Kitsune Rush is just active, you can still just build ult charge anyway. But yeah, sometimes when you're still under Kitsune Rush, you can still just not care. Still ended up with the most healing, and we cleansed 25 things in that round alone. So like, you see the viability by just doing the thing. But anyways, that's the Kali build. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you give it a try. See just how powerful it is by just building up Kitsune Rush and abusing Kitsune Rush. Because the other thing that it does is it's your get out of jail free card when you go in too deep and you're desperate for, oh my god, I need to get out of this. You can just Kitsune Rush and then run away until your cooldown's reset, and then you can teleport away or whatever the case is. That's the way I tend to do it.